Hey, what's up guys, Nils here and welcome back to another video. So after spending the past day and a half without having any sort of internet connection, we are actually back, which is pretty cool because, you know, we're addicted to the internet. We can't live without the internet. But anyway, so game as usual, zero content, dead game. We can't get anything because of how hard the last map is. Although power is kind of like going up slowly but steadily. 30 QAVG, nothing too OP, but still, it's pretty decent. So in this video, we're gonna go on a rant about everything wrong with the game. And oh boy, there is a lot of problems with the game right now. Like, there's a lot of things that are wrong that need to be fixed. So I made a list with a bunch of stuff that I could think about. I'm pretty sure that I'm forgetting stuff. So if I forget things, just let me know down below in the comments what I missed. But anyway, so let's start out. First of all, we're gonna talk about parts of the game that are quite literally dead content. And by dead content, I mean literally dead. Starting off, we have obviously raids happen 2 times an hour, I believe, something like that. Randomly at random times. Depends where, I guess, you join the server. But anyway, so raids are kind of dead content. They give you shards most of the time. Sometimes they give you corrupted shards, which are also whatever. Like, you just visit your server and farm corruption shards every corruption. So that's also like kind of whatever, but still, that's not dead content, nowhere near very useful. So yeah, raids are completely dead content. Like, you get all of these shards, sure, but there is no point to like roll for the ancients. Like, rolling for the ancients is too slow, and it's not efficient at all compared to magic drops. Now, if you don't have magic drops, obviously you do have to roll, but I feel like, as I said many times before, the whole ancients thing is supposed to get a revamp. Like, it needs to get a revamp. It's just really bad. Like, the rates for the enchants to how good they are kind of a joke, I think. I don't know. I feel like you can't introduce an enchant that is 1 in 10,000 and make it flat out broken. And whilst you make it accessible through magic drops, which we're going to talk about later, whilst the rest of the enchants don't come even close. Now, I know that it is 1 in 10,000, but like, if you guys remember, for example, back in Enemy Fighters, like, that enchant was 0.025%. So not only that it was like 2.5 times easier to find than what this is, but like, the rest of the enchants weren't that bad. Like, obviously God was way too broken in comparison, but the rest of the enchants weren't like that bad, I feel like. I think the difference big at the moment, which is kind of problematic, and I think they were just like lacking like enchants. We're lacking options for the enchants. I feel like there should be more enchants. But anyway, enough with that. Moving on to the next. Next up, the latest edition of the latest update, Global Boss. I don't know. This is tragic. I don't know how you can introduce something in the game that is completely bugged, by the way. Alright, let's see. Since we're here, we might as well just finish our swing quest, because, you know, why not? We're doing it anyway. And just maybe this time around, we're gonna get the power boost. So I have killed this boss 3 times since the update came out, and I think everybody else has, unless I missed something. And we didn't get a single power boost. Like, we literally haven't gotten a single power boost. Like, it's super bugged. It doesn't work at all, which is annoying. And besides that, like, 20 billion HP is just too much. Like, this should be nerfed. So I think 8 billion is a reasonable HP for this boss. It's just dead content. It is completely dead content. And yeah, well, there you go. You can get those wings as a mount from top 15 in the leaderboard. So you basically just have to AFK here for a while and you're gonna get the mount. So yeah, another piece of dead content right here, as you guys can see. Yeah, very sad. I don't know. The problem is that it's bugged. Primarily, before talking about anything else, like, it's bugged and they didn't bother fixing that. Next up, we're going in an update pack, the big addition of the previous update, crafting, another piece of dead content. The stones are extremely hard to get, and the like, you can't even make a single weapon in a 2-week update span, which is completely stupid. And even if you manage to make one somehow miraculously, the weapon is trash. It's like half as strong as a Blood Moon Secret. Now, the game is obviously a lot harder this update, so if you could make that, it would be good. But as you guys will notice, I don't have a single stone from the new update, and we're pretty much 10 days into the update. So yeah, GG, another piece of dead content. Love to see it. Next up, we're going to talk about other stuff that are really bad in terms of scaling. And the first thing would be relic leveling. Like, leveling up your relics is too slow in comparison to how often you swap out your relics. I think that needs to be changed. There could be a couple of ways to do that. Now, we do use vibranium shards for pet engines now, so I had originally suggested using them to level up our relics, but obviously we use them for the pet engines now, so that's not the case. And yeah, besides that, I think they should just like give more XP or just reduce the XP required to level the relics, something. I don't know. Scaling is too much for the frequency that we are changing the relics. It's very bad. Moving on, pet fusing. This is probably the worst aspect of the game, which goes back to its core. Like, requiring 10 pets to make a shiny, and then 5 shinies to make a celestial. Now, obviously, you can gamble, but still, 10 is too much. Should have been 5 and 5 ever since day one, and the frequency of hatching pets is just too low for this like whole thing to work, which pretty much just extends to another issue, which is the limit breaker, another piece of that content. Like, what's the point of adding limit breaker if you can never like limit break your best pets, right? Like, you're not gonna do that. You're never gonna be able to limit break a secret pet. You gotta be using them, obviously. Like, you need 9 of them to begin with. And yeah, like as you guys can see, 10 days into the update and I have 4 pets. GG. 4 daytime, 4 nighttime secrets. So yeah, another piece of that content, the limit breaker machine and the whole pet fusing system is really bad. Like, if it was 5 of them for a shiny, would have been a lot better. At least you would see some sort of shiny secrets. I'm pretty sure people would be a lot more keen on gambling. Maybe like 3 of them at a time, like 60%. That sounds a lot more plausible, but yeah. Pet fusing system, really bad, and limit breaker is another piece of that content. And on the pet subject, like, the power gap from this to this is way too big. I think this should be a lot better than this. It's beyond insane to me that a celestial jellyfish, like a celestial daytime secret, is still worse than a normal nighttime secret. Like, that's just really bad. I feel like, I don't know, maybe like 75% of a nighttime secret would be a much better scaling. Like, sure, get your daytime secrets, and if you want to get a pet that's like 25% stronger, there you go, try to get the nighttime secret. I think that would be a pretty good game balance, in my opinion. I don't know. Let me know, guys, how you think about this power gap thing. And yeah, it's just like the whole pet system is bad. Considering like the game works like that, where they want you to basically replace everything every update. It doesn't work like FS, where you kept your stuff for like maybe even an update or 2. Unless you get better stuff. Like, it's just bad. It's just bad. And yeah, pets need a rework or rebalancing, in my opinion. And since we're on the scaling topic, we're going to talk about this amazing update that we've been having. Like, the scaling in this update is so hard. Nobody can do anything this update. It's actually crazy. I'm something like 150. Maybe I felt like to top 200 now because I've been playing for the past day and a half. But yeah, like, the scaling is so bad at this update. Like, I feel like we've lost so many people from the game, this update especially. It's actually crazy. Like, if you see the numbers for the game as well, like, the game is a little bit below 20k at this point. And yeah, if the next update is good, the game is just gonna go back down to 30,000 people. Okay, so it's currently standing at 18.7k. Like, the game definitely lost 3,000-4,000 people at least. I think I would say it lost about 1,000 to 2,000 concurrent players and like at least 4,000 or 5,000 people in total this update, just because of how hard it is. They nerfed everything by 35%, which was completely useless. It did nothing. Like, my opinion, they should just go ahead and slap another nerf. That would be 35 or even more, if they want to keep people engaged. Like, look at this, guys. I was top 100 in the leaderboard and I can't still get a secret weapon 10 days in. And I'm playing 24 hours a day. Like, I'm AFKing 24 hours a day. I'm playing at least 14, 15, 16 hours out of these 24, and the rest I'm just AFK. Like, my PC never turns off, and I can't get a secret weapon the entire update. Yeah, scaling is horrendous. And next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the pay-to-win aspect of the game. that has been extremely fucked up the last 2 updates. Starting off, I want to talk a little bit about this Game Pass right here. 2,500 Robux for this Game Pass. Since they introduced pet enchants, I see absolutely no reason why this doesn't drop, this doesn't allow you to hatch pets with enchants. I think that should be changed, especially since they decided to nerf weapons and guard. Like guard is really hard to farm, even with magic drops nowadays. They should at least add pet enchants to hatchable pets to compensate for the Game Pass. Like that's very first. I've been saying that unless you play the game a lot, this is not worth buying anymore. It's way too expensive for what it currently gives. And yeah, pet enchants are another thing that need a rework as well. Like the amount of vibranium shards that you can farm to the rates of the passives doesn't match. It's way too hard to get good passives with the amount of stuff that you have. At least in enemy fighters, it was pretty hard to get like rare shards before the trading was added. But at least the rates were like somewhat okay, right? Like these rates that we have, like 1 in 9,000. It's not even 9,000. It's like 1 in 9.2 thousand for a leader or for a genius passive. Like what the hell, man? Do you know what that means? Even with 25,000, like even with 25 shards for a common pet roll, you just need way too many. Like you need over 20,000, over 23,000 shards to get one freaking enchant. Best one. Like that's just beyond crazy. I don't know. And back to the pay to win aspect, like you guys know that past 2 updates, like the old owner just he went ahead and threw 6 ascents because he was selling the game and he wanted to make money. And ever since then, like leaderboards have been completely fucked up, power scaling has been completely off the charts. And as if that wasn't enough, then they decided to add this thing right here with a pet that is equal to a shiny darkness pet, which scales up every update, by the way. So if you are willing to spend 1 million Robux for this and get it, you're gonna be pretty much OP for every single update that is to come in the future. Like basically as pay to win as it gets. And on top of that, if you guys buy the wheel a couple of times, because you see the rates are pretty low, right? So what they decided to do instead is they actually decided to add a Game Pass that increases your odds by 25%. So instead of 0.01, this would be 0.25, right? 0.025, whatever, 1 in 4,000, I guess, instead of 1 in 10,000. But yeah, still, pay to win aspect in this game is broken and it's slowly like starting to kill the game. I personally don't mind like pay to win, but there's like a line where this kind of goes too crazy, right? Like there is just a line where it kind of goes too crazy, and a lot more people I feel like are frustrated a lot more than I am. I personally don't really care that much, but still, like it is a little bit annoying. And yep, that's pretty much my rant about the game. There's like so many things that are very easy to fix. I think most of these things that I mentioned are pretty easy to fix, but yeah, they just don't care anymore, I guess. And I feel like if this trend continues, the game is gonna continue to lose players. Another piece of DENCON, by the way, this whole index thing right here, like I don't know why they just decided to stop this. Something that would help the game a lot is if they try to bridge the gap from free-to-play and pay-to-win. Like for example, add a way for free-to-play to get an extra relic. Now I know that this would mean that pay-to-win would get 3 relics equipped, but to be honest with you guys, I don't think it matters at that point. I don't think it really matters. Like the gap from 1 to 2 relics and 2 to 3 relics is very huge. And the same thing goes for weapons. I've been saying this for a while now. I think that they should add like a free-to-play way of equipping a second weapon, because the gap from 2 to 3 and from 1 to 2 is way too big. Like we're talking about 100% difference and a 50% difference. It's just too big. Like add a 3rd weapon that's available for free to play as well, add a 3rd relic, and change a whole bunch of stuff that I mentioned earlier, and the game is gonna be good. Like people are gonna come back to the game, they're gonna play the game, and the player count is gonna start going up. But an update again that releases just like this update, game is going down to 12-13k players. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah, anyway guys, if you have sticked up until this part of the video, thank you for listening to my rant. And I will probably stream maybe in a couple of hours, depends. Will said he's probably gonna be later on in the evening, so if Will is around, I'm probably gonna stream. But yeah, anyway guys, that was pretty much it for this rant video. As always, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to click the like and subscribe button down below. and I'll see you guys all on the next video. By the way, in the meantime, come here and kill this boss. It's like 400 million left, just so we can all be depressed together that we didn't get our power potion, because this is bugged and hasn't been fixed. And yeah, adios.